Okay, welcome everyone. Sorry for the slight delay. This is the working group device management meeting for July 16th. I did not create an agenda entry for today's meeting. If you have anything, we can just collect opens and perhaps someone can edit the document to add an entry and take some notes if there is something that we're discussing. Hopefully we do. I have the usual status update, but let's first see whether we have any new participants, anyone who wants to introduce themselves. Now would be a good time, and then we can get started. Okay. So we are approaching code freeze. My main job right now is to finish the GA graduation. Some progress has been made in the meantime on getting scalability numbers. RA from NVIDIA has some results. There were performance issues, but they turned out to be just cluster control plane configuration. The kube controller manager was getting throttled by client-side QPS settings, and it looks much better when increasing those numbers. Other reviewers are back this week. Jordan Liggett from Google will do most of the API reviews for DRA in this cycle. And he started working basically this week. He was out last week. The GA things look okay so far. As mentioned on Slack, we landed a refactoring of our allocator code, which affects a few people, but those who are affected already know. Pang, I'm not sure, are you here?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Some good news on the structured merge diff. So the API design question that we had, I pinged people at Google and Joe looked at my pending PR. It looks like I solved it the right way. It's now just a matter of figuring out how to fix the unit tests because those are still failing, partly because they are not constructing test data correctly. I'm looking at that right now. If I can sort that out, it looks like the structured merge diff PR that I have pending can be merged soon, and then we will have it in Kubernetes relatively soon. And once that lands, it means that in your consumable capacity PR, you can avoid the encoding of a share ID in the device name, and everyone will be happy.
Okay. So nice. Yeah. But for the current one, I think I have to refactors based on the new allocator framework, right? This
Yeah.
is okay with like the current encoding one. I can update it to the new field later when it's not.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, basically do keep your PR working, keep the branch up to date, and I'll let you know once we have that.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, extended resources PR got some discussions, some debates. I think we are, I don't know, on the binding conditions. I've not looked at it myself. I know that others have had comments. I don't think we have any blockers, I believe. It's mostly just about addressing review comments and eventually getting the API review finalized. Because whenever I review an API, it's basically non-binding. I'm not an official API approver. I can point out the things that a normal API reviewer like Jordan would complain about, and we can fix it in advance. That's the point of me doing API reviews. But ultimately, it's up to him to approve. Okay. Any questions? Any topics that you want to discuss?
I still have some question related to MyCap, but it can be later if someone want to go first. Seem not. So yeah, but my question is that it seem yeah, there's the share ID issues of how about the claim taker? I think I see your allocators member today, but it seems like I still need to modify the lister because it doesn't have the device ID to the allocator. So what is the final success?
Okay, so I think we agreed that your original changes make sense long term. We need to change the contract with the autoscaler. But I thought you had a way to not do that immediately.
Yeah, just to use like the not change the interface, just add the new implementations and convert
Yeah.
it to the
Yeah.
current tech.
I
Okay.
think that was the consensus for the initial alpha.
Okay, but it doesn't change the fact that have to change the lister. I mean, outside the experimental folder that I supposed to.
Yeah,
Okay.
you may have to change shared fields in the allocator, shared APIs in the allocator. That's okay.
Okay.
The more concerning change would be if the interface with the autoscaler, the ones that is under contract something, if that needs to change, we need to have a discussion with SIG autoscaling.
Okay. I will not touch that one
Yeah.
right now, but
But
yeah.
that sounds good. Yeah, this whole refactoring of the allocator is not going to be perfect. It's not going to hide all changes from the rest of code. The plugin, for example, is just one monolithic code with if checks for certain feature gates. That's how it's normally done. But ideally, those changes should be fairly obvious to review because it's a new if branch here that's never taken if a feature is off. Something like that can easily be added to a stable code base. The problem with the allocator code was that it really had to make complicated changes and changed shared logic in a way that was hard to do without breaking something else. We had exactly that mistake with the initial prioritized list, which was an intrusive change, which it changed the way how we iterated over requests, and that was a shared thing, couldn't be done with just if check here and there. That wasn't possible, and we broke one thing also when prioritized list was not on, and that's the motivation for this allocator go fork basically.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
It's okay to change the shared things. Those will then get more scrutiny, and with the experimental one, it's less critical to get it right immediately. That's basically the whole point.
okay. Thank you. Maybe I have a question related to the new framework. So the alphas, any features that going into the alphas goes to the experimentals, or is it just only like whenever we have a new versions, every features that newly add goes into the experimental, and even like the version up, but we are not like moving to beta. Do we have to move to incubating, or we keep in the experimental until we in beta?
We haven't that fully sorted out. So basically, the selection of the implementation is currently based on feature gates.
Mm-hmm.
So if we say enhance something in prioritized list, it would have to go directly into the incubating code base because that's the one that is chosen for prioritized list. If we make a change that is questionable and potentially something that we want to turn off for prioritized list, using that example again, then we could create, sorry, an artificial intermediate feature gate, and then if that feature gate is on, the experimental version would be used. If someone turns it off, they get the more stable version without that change. Long term, I think what we hopefully can do is we develop something in incubating. After one release cycle, we find that everything that was in incubating just worked fine, and we just move the entire file over into stable. So
Okay.
basically, promote the entire implementation that we introduced before, and it becomes the new stable because we are comfortable based on one release of, or one of the experience gathered from one release cycle that the code is okay. I think that's what we'll do in the end. We could also pick individual features and just try to move a relevant code up into the next stable version, but that's more manual work and therefore more likely to have problems itself. So we'll probably not do that.
Okay.
This is a bit well, it's not. It has been done before. There have been other cases where new code was basically introduced by forking the existing one, but there's no established process. We are making this up as we go along.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you for your explanation.
Okay. Anything else? If not, then I think we can just get back to getting code ready for code freeze. Thanks, everyone. See you next time. Bye.
Thank you.
You.